Welcome to the next 5 to 8 weeks of your life.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for board games that need a cunning mind to win.
All resources are kept on and spent from territories you control on the board.
If you love games, be sure to check out WatchMojo's new game Terrible Influence, launching soon on Kickstarter. Terrible Influence is a satirical board game about the dark side of fame from the writer of The Most Popular Girls in School and us, WatchMojo.
Boom. I can make an apology video.
Oh, you so would.
Click on the link in the description to follow our Kickstarter campaign and be the first to play Terrible Influence.
I need to pay a PR wizard to make this go away.
Okay.
$4 million.
What
I have
did
it.
you do?
It was bad.
Number 20, The Settlers of Catan.
The object of Settlers of Catan is to build roads and settlements. To do so requires wood. Now, I have sheep. I need wood. Who has wood for my sheep?
Also known as Settlers or just Catan, this game's arrival on the game scene was game-changing. It seems simple enough. Players need 10 points, and each settlement equals a point. But actually getting those points, that's the challenge.
This game brought us into the hobby, and I think a lot of people too.
And in this game, you are settling the island of Catan by building settlements and cities and getting resources, and you have to know how to negotiate.
You gotta talk, people. You gotta talk it out.
The game features 19 terrains, which are designated by resource: brick, ore, wool, grain, and wood, all of which are needed for accomplishing different goals. But rather than pure greed, Catan is a game built upon negotiation, resource management, and situational awareness. It's also a platform ripe for expansion, with Cities and Knights, Trails to Rails, Seafarers of Catan, and other packs available.
I think I get it.
Okay, great.
Number 19, Risk.
Where can I put this?
What is it?
It's Risk, Jerry, the game of world conquest.
Everybody wants to rule the world. And if you have enough skill, luck, and good planning, you just might pull it off. You'll never make the news, but you will have made 2 to 4 enemies out of former friends. Invented by French filmmaker Albert Lamorisse, Risk arrived on the scene in 1957 as La Conquête du Monde, or the Conquest of the World. Soon after, the rights were snapped up by Parker Brothers, who also tweaked the rules slightly. Typical play lasts around 2 hours, but can hit the 6-hour mark if the delicate balance of alliances and betrayal really heats up.
I think it's time to put the hurt on the Ukraine.
I come from Ukraine. You not say Ukraine weak?
Yeah, well, we're playing a game here, pal.
Ukraine is came to you? How about I take your little bolas?
Number 18, Carcassonne. Created by Klaus-Jürgen Driede and released in German and English-speaking markets in 2000, Carcassonne won gaming awards right out of the box, and it's easy to see why. Opening up play for 2 to 5 players, the game packs plenty of excitement without claiming an entire evening, with rounds lasting about 45 minutes. Best still, no one gets eliminated, which means no one is forced to sit and watch the game peter out and the game buzz wane. The game focuses on developing communities and utilizing the population and resources within. And like other games, it comes with a rich array of expansion materials as well. Number 17, Dune. Based on the monumental novel Dune, this is an updated version of a significantly older game.
A key part of Dune is managing your leaders as you fight across Arrakis.
Fans of the books go crazy for this since it lets you reenact and rewrite the story. Each player controls one of 6 great factions, all vying for control over spice. It's extremely strategic on account of its punishing nature.
Each faction has a quick reference sheet, which tells you where you're going to set up your forces, how much spice you have, and any rules that are exclusive to your faction.
A small mistake can cost you the entire game, which fits thematically given the harsh climate of Arrakis. Player elimination is usually shied away from, but not in Dune. To some, it's the best board game ever. However, we could say the same for most entries here, since modern board gaming is just that good.
The Harkonnen player loses everything in the territory, and both cards, while the Fremen receive 4 spice for Beast Raban and keep everything.
Number 16, Brass Birmingham.
If you've played Brass in the past, learning how to play Birmingham will be a snap.
This is currently the highest rated board game on BoardGameGeek, and for good reason. Finding someone who has played it but didn't enjoy it is nigh on impossible. It's the pinnacle of Industrial Revolution games.
Perhaps Birmingham is an optimistic take on business where you can always adapt to improve in industrial era England.
Set between 1770 and 1870, players take on the role of competing entrepreneurs. It's far from the most complicated game with only 2 major resources, coal and iron, and the possible actions are rather simple.
Whether it be the balanced card drawing, the unique double arrow progression, or the me scratching your back and then you scratching my back as we progress together on the board, this game is an economic delight.
Even the best strategies can crumble when another player builds on your spot or takes the last iron. So you'll have to think of almost every possible outcome to reliably win.
And we have to stress that for how dense the game is, it's never punishing at all.
Number 15, Hansa Teutonica. The Hanseatic League was an incredibly wealthy medieval German trading league. This is the setting for Hansa Teutonica, where players take the role of league traders.
Now this game has no luck, no cards, no dice, just pure strategy.
The goal is to build the best trading house network across Germany. The original and its later big box edition are debatably the best commerce games ever made.
Players take on the role of traders, competing to gain victory points by building networks and controlling cities.
It ends the instant someone hits 20 victory points, giving you little breathing room to execute game-winning strategies. No 2 games will ever feel the same, since the amount of strategic expression feels unlimited.
Now the game is not pretty to look at,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of fun to play.
Yes, it is.
Number 14, Terraforming Mars. Quite a few Mars colonization games exist, but this is the most popular. Set in the 2400s, you play as CEOs competing for the best Martian settlement. So far, there are 8 expansions available, adding a variety of mechanics and features.
Note that the energy production stated on the card is added to the initial production we get for playing the standard game.
Everyone works together to convert Mars into an oasis, but whoever does it the best wins. While it's not strictly scientifically accurate, it is heavily inspired by real science, making it a highly immersive title.
Now if you increase the temperature to minus 24 degrees, you get to increase your heat production on your player board 1 step.
It's been so popular, it even got a video game adaptation. Starting with nothing and converting Mars into a habitable paradise is immensely satisfying, at least until you lose.
Be sure to also check your event cards for victory points.
Number 13, Through the Ages, a new story of civilization. There's no shortage of civilization-focused board games, where you guide your people through history advancing through the ages. It's tough to pick just one for our list, but we believe Through the Ages is the most strategically demanding.
So he's only got 1 civil action, which means he can only take one of these 5 cards.
It's a civilization building game, with emphasis on resource management. Its main mechanic is card drafting, with little board focus. One strategy could be to rush technology and create a vibrant metropolis.
First of all, this section is the future events. These are things that are going to happen at some point later on in the game.
Just don't forget about the military aspect, or else your hard work will quickly become someone else's crown jewel.
These units that make up this tactics card have to be from this age or the one before, or in fact the one afterwards, for you to get the higher number.
Number 12, Pandemic Legacy Season 1. The original Pandemic was pretty popular, but players found each game felt relatively similar. Its successor, Pandemic Legacy, solved this issue. It's still a cooperative game, however a story carries between games. In total, it'll take between 12 and 24 playthroughs to complete. The first game feels a lot like the regular Pandemic. As you keep going, there'll be new rules and components added, keeping it refreshing. This means after a few games, you'll have an entirely unique copy. There have been 3 seasons in total, giving Pandemic more replayability than ever before. Number 11, Root. Typically, board games have the same rules and mechanics for every single player. This symmetry is completely foregone in Root, where everyone is playing a separate board game. Rival factions compete for control over a forest, with each one playing entirely differently.
Let's spend some boots to move me up to that this place here.
Ooh. There's the Woodland Alliance, who spend the game accumulating sympathy, which literally explodes at a critical mass. Or the Vagabond, a lone soldier who plays all sides.
The faction with the most combined warriors and buildings rules that clearing.
It's a brilliant example of how much fun asymmetry can be. It also means formulating the perfect strategy requires understanding how every single faction plays. That's a huge task, which extends its replayability by a hefty margin. Also, did we mention the art is adorable?
Choose now and take root.
Number 10, Oath. This is a remarkable concept for a board game. It's focused on guiding history in a fictional world. What's unique is that your actions in one game carry over to the next. So if you want to properly dig your teeth into Oath, you'll need a dedicated group of players. Otherwise, you'll miss out on the details shared between games. This means you'll gradually develop an extensive history for your game. As such, your copy will be unique after a few games. An example of what carries over is a dynasty, which can exist across generations. It's made by the same person as Root, with the same beautiful art style, making every game a treat. Number 9, War of the Ring, 2nd edition. There's a plethora of Lord of the Rings board games in the world. None of these can match War of the Rings quality. It's an asymmetric two-player game where someone plays Mordor and the other the Fellowship.
There's no hand-waving to make every mechanic feel appropriate to Lord of the Rings.
The Mordor player will spend most of the game spamming orcs and trying to Zerg rush their opponent. The Fellowship's playstyle is instead focused on evasion, and the occasional wildcard that lets Gandalf instantly destroy Saruman.
For the multiple varied armies and the characters of Middle-earth, there's so many stories and moments of Middle-earth waiting to be played.
No matter what role you play, your strategic prowess needs to be on full display in this battle for the lands of Middle-earth.
Even if you're not into Lord of the Rings, the action die and event card system still holds up 20 plus years after this game's release.
Number 8, Scythe. The Roaring '20s was a time of economic prosperity, instantly recognizable by flappers, Ford Model Ts, and of course, mechs. Well, that last one was only present in Scythe, which is based in an alternate dieselpunk 1920s.
Combat is driven by players' decisions and cunning, not randomness.
It was originally a Kickstarter project, but released in shops. Good luck getting your hands on a copy though. It immediately sold out everywhere. It's an engine-building game set in Eastern Europe.
So a big part of the game is trying to optimize your engine so that on your turn you're not just taking one action, you're taking both of those actions.
There's almost zero luck involved, only big brain maneuvers that can win. It's also asymmetrical, with each faction having unique mechanics, placing even more emphasis on a cunning strategy to achieve victory.
So the Saxon player right now has 2 wood, so they would score 1 coin for those 2 resources.
Number 7, Magic Realm. Commonly known as the granddaddy of RPG games, this 70s title is phenomenally complex. It's more similar to Dungeons & Dragons than any other wargame. It's been out of print since 1998, making it an item cherished by collectors. There are 16 unique characters to play, each with drastically differing playstyles. Its age adds to its unique charms, since games like this are no longer made. Despite this, its influence is unparalleled. It takes a few games to wrap your head around, but once successful, you will be completely addicted. With endless combinations and amazing replayability, this is a must-play for the most hardcore board game enthusiasts. Number 6, Gloomhaven. This mechanically cumbersome Eurogame, designed by only one person, was instantly adored. In total, it contains 100 different scenarios, with a world that changes across sessions.
Gloomhaven is arguably the best dungeon crawler combat out there, with endless replayability with permutations of enemies, items, classes, and scenarios to mix and match.
This makes completion a gigantic time sink. It's not a legacy game like you may assume, it's more of a sprawling adventure RPG. This keeps it constantly fresh, and it can take years to finish everything. It starts with 6 classes, but you can unlock 11 more through playing. Like Dungeons & Dragons, you create and control one character throughout the adventure. Eventually, you'll complete their goals and they'll happily retire. It's tough to summarize this immense game in just one video. You'll have to play it yourself.
Admittedly, it's a huge hassle to set up and the story is lackluster, but you are playing it for the Euro card-driven gameplay.
Number 5, Twilight Imperium, 4th edition. You're not a true board game nerd until you've had the amazing experience of playing Twilight Imperium. Individually, none of its mechanics are that complex, but it's far wider than any other Space 4X.
Twilight Imperium has a lot of things going on for sure, but it's relatively simple given its massive scope.
Reserve an entire day for this one because a 10 victory point game can last between 10 and 14 hours. The most intense fans may embark on an 8-player 14 victory point adventure, which could take an entire weekend.
What should scare players in this game is the other players from all the politics that is encouraged, never from the mechanics themselves.
There will be something for everyone here. Want to be rich? Play Catan and revel in your wealth. Want to be a civilization-destroying virus? It's got that too. It's one of the most replayable board games ever, with each game making memories to be cherished forever.
Find ways to play this game because it's one of the most satisfying experiences we've had from a thematic, mechanical, and negotiation standpoint.
Number 4, A World at War, Second World War in Europe and the Pacific. This game's playtime average is anywhere from 1,440 to 2,880 minutes. It's one of the most intricate games ever conceived. It's considered by many to have the most expansive war system ever, allowing players to recreate World War II in immense detail. For example, players can acquire famous named ships, and they'll need plenty of oil to sustain them, as well as their military and air force. It's the most successful large-scale game representing the period, and lets you live out your wildest alternate history fantasies. For instance, what would have happened if Japan had never attacked Pearl Harbor? The only way to find out is to pick up a copy, grab some friends, and spend an entire weekend gaming. Number 3, The Campaign for North Africa, The Desert War, 1940 to 43.
By playing the most complicated board game ever invented, Campaign for North Africa.
A 60,000-minute-long board game is an auto-include on a list about strategy. This is arguably the most complex board game in history, and it's unlikely to be topped, because why would anyone want to? It needs 10 players and it takes 1,500 hours. No one playtested it, and we have no evidence anyone has bothered to complete a single game.
Oh, that is a good one! Your troops' morale rating is pretty high.
In the 70s, board game players demanded larger games, and this was made to answer that call. Turns out they weren't that eager, with many considering it unplayable. Thankfully, the board game industry learned a valuable lesson, and few games of this scale have been released since.
We need to start over. What? Oh, no, not from the beginning, just from when the tank started moving.
That was 5 hours ago.
Number 2, Go.
Even a game lost is a game well played. Spoken like a man who's about to lose.
Who invented Go is anyone's guess, but it's been agreed that it came to be during China's Zhou dynasty. The game's popularity, and the required brain power it takes to master it, led the game to become, like calligraphy, painting, and playing the guqin, one of the 4 scholarly arts of ancient Chinese aristocratic society. A game for 2, played with a set of black and white stones and a 19 by 19 square grid. The rules to Go could not be simpler, and the gameplay any more complex. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Chess. The game we know as chess first appears in history around the year 600 in Persia. Then called Chaturang, it had morphed from an earlier creation called Chaturanga that was found in eastern India. By the 9th century, it had made its way to Russia and Europe, and by the year 1000, it became popular with the upper classes due to its challenging nature and la-di-da factor. Easy to learn, chess is never truly mastered, and pulls upon critical thinking skills, while teaching valuable lessons about decision-making and patience. There's no room for luck in chess. One false move is all it takes to lose. Which board game do you think relies most on a strategic mind? Let us know in the comments.
You forgot about the essence of the game. It's about the cones.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.